Um, this class today is going to be a little bit more on the yin side. So it's a mobility class. We'll be doing some mobility work, but we're going to start out on the ground and just focus a lot on our breath and on our exhale. So if you got the emails, if you read what the intention behind the class was, it's about how often we are filling our lives with, hold on one second, as we all know, things to do, not only in our activities in our life, whether we're inside all the time or we're outside running around. We've probably noticed, some of us, when we're inside now, we can't really do a lot outside, so then our mind has that space to keep moving faster. And so we're constantly in this flux of filling up these spaces. So now that we may have more space, say in our homes, with our families, it's interesting to notice how, at least me, I have a tendency to want to fill it up with new things. Oh, I should be creating. I should be painting. Your camera doesn't, hold on one second. You're here, okay. You're here, Maria's here. It's okay, I like to see you, but that's okay. I'm glad you see me. And so what I've noticed, even as someone who loves to do yoga and movement, I find myself also filling myself up with mindfulness practices and activities. And something that came up to me recently was, how often do we actually spend time in the space rather than trying to fill the space? And the way that we're going to work with that today in class is we're going to exhale our breath and we're going to hold pause after the exhale. And I've noticed with my practice, this has helped me with my crazy mind, my anxieties. I also have had lots of anxiety, my worries, my concerns, my constants, like what ifs, what's happening, and like, what do I do? So this breath is going to help cultivate that awareness within us. And hopefully it can be a tool that you can use in your life outside of just this practice. So we will exhale, focus on the exhale, and we'll be pausing at the end as we move through certain postures and in between. Yeah, and something that came to me the other day when I was playing with this and feeling into it was this idea that sometimes we feel like to experience life, we have to go out, right? And do these things and, and experience and touch and be in life. But what I was noticing the other day was after I would exhale and I would pause, it was like I was allowing life to fill me up, right? I was allowing myself to be filled with something that I may never have expected to come through when I'm usually busy trying to figure out what I need to do. If that makes sense. Hopefully that does. If not, it's okay. Yeah. So we're gonna get started. Of course, as always, if you have any injuries, you're working with stuff in your body, please listen to your body first and foremost. Maybe take a step back. The breath is really good at giving us that moment to check in and to feel. So we'll get started sitting in Sukhasana. So come and find a nice comfy seat. And also with the breath, inhale and exhale as whatever feels best for you. So some of our breath capacities are greater. We have the ability to deepen our breath longer and wider. And if that makes you feel anxious, which it can, then just take a step back and just follow the breath naturally. You don't have to force it. So really listen and feel into where that edge is, where you can feel that calm before you start to feel maybe a little agitation. So just be gentle with yourself. So we'll start out in our Sukhasana, in our comfortable seated pose. Hands coming onto the knees or maybe in the lap. Closing the eyes and taking this moment to pull in all your awareness into your body, into this moment. And in the beginning, just listen. So not trying to shape our breath yet, not trying to shape our thoughts or how we feel, but cultivate the skill of just listening to what's arising within you and around you in your space. Taking the position of the observer of your reality, of the space you're in, cultivating a more fine-tuned sense of awareness. As we begin to notice how we're feeling, maybe we're feeling calm, maybe feeling anxious, maybe feeling any number of different emotions and feelings and sensations. And see if you can witness it beyond creating a story or judging your experience. And instead of being afraid of our thoughts or trying to slow them down, just let them run wild for a moment. Not only celebrating ourselves in the fullness of life and filling up, but celebrating ourselves in those empty spaces between the thoughts. Just noticing. And then bringing your hands to the heart, pressing the palms together. Inviting a deep breath in through the nose. And opening the mouth, exhale. Two more of those, slow, long, and deep. And as you exhale, just feel yourself settling at the exhale before you bring the inhale back in. And after the next exhale, exhale all the air out. And just take a moment to sit there with the air out of the lungs. And coming back to a natural breath whenever you need to. Noticing the shoulders drawing towards the hips, feeling the spine lifting, extending out the crown of the head, and creating this connection in this moment to maybe your perception is the highest version of you, the true self, the pure self, the one that feels more ease throughout life and in all situations, the one that connects to that clarity of mind and purpose. And feeling like you're pulling in that energy through the crown of the head, that connection to your source. And then feeling that energy go down the spine, out the sacrum, and rooting and connecting to the earth beneath you into the core, the center of the earth. Knowing that we are not all of these emotions, they are a part of our experience. And now in this moment, bringing in a personal intention you may have for this class and for your life. Maybe it is just to begin to notice the still moments, the pause after the exhale, the emptying of all that you thought you were, or all that you even know to be true. And then let's take a nice deep breath out of the mouth and inhaling to Om. Bowing your chin to your chest in honor and gratitude towards yourself for showing up today, despite and no matter what's happening in your life. Taking this time to reset, reconnect with yourself, with that emptiness, allowing there to be more space for life to show you what is possible. And slowly opening the eyes and bringing the hands down. We're going to make our way to our backs now. So coming into your Shavasana. Feet wide on the mat, palms to the sky. If you would like, you can also place your hands on your body somewhere if that feels better for you. Maybe there's a place of injury or there's an area that you're trying to work with. So maybe your belly, your hips, your legs, your heart. And allowing and feeling the bones drop to the ground. And as we move through class today, really staying connected to that sense of truth, the true self, higher self, whatever resonates with you, with that the self that can move about the world with ease. And feeling the bones and the body drop to the ground, the tensions beginning to release. And then begin by shaping your breath a little bit. So taking a nice full inhale, and as you inhale, pressing the back body down to the ground, whilst also expanding the front side of the body and ribs. And then taking a long, full exhale, whatever feels best for you. And as you exhale, feeling the pelvic floor maybe lift up. And after your exhale, taking a pause for a few seconds before inhaling again. So in your own way, maybe you count a 4 count, 5 count, 6 count or more inhale. And same for the exhale. Have the exhale length matching that of the inhale. And the key here is after the length of the exhale, holding the breath out. So let the inhale to the exhale stream be fluid. But once you reach the end of the exhale, pause and feel what it feels like to be empty. And as you empty, feeling the body relax even more. And when you fill up the breath, when you inhale, just imagine that stream like a wave coming up and grabbing the thoughts and washing them away back down the spine, out into the earth as you exhale. Maybe pausing longer at the exhale if it feels good for you. Maybe stretching your breath a little bit more. As you stretch and expand the breath, at any point you start to notice anxiety or tension, see if you can relax the body and drop it down a little bit more. Maybe 1 or 2 more rounds. Remembering no right or wrong way to breathe and to move. We're just fine-tuning and cultivating more presence and awareness with our breath. And then taking your time, if you're not quite there yet and you're still finishing an exhale, continue to finish. But when you're ready, you're going to bring the knees into the chest. Do that for a moment here. Take an inhale, exhale, completely empty the breath out. And as you empty, pull the knees into the chest, relax the shoulders and the head. And then inhaling, releasing the knees. All right, so our next inhale, we're going to reach the arms overhead and reach the feet towards the sky. Inhale here. And then exhale, the knees come into the chest. Empty, 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 empty. Then placing the feet down. Inhale, arms come up, hips come up into bridge. And then your exhale, hands will come down next to the hips, hips down. Empty out. And then we'll repeat that again. Inhale, reach, extend, reach the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhaling, knees to the chest. Empty, empty, empty. So you can go slower or faster if you desire, but we'll be continuing to do this. As we inhale, we lift the hips, arms. Exhale, hands come down. Hips. Now keep doing this flow on your own with your own breath, reaching the feet up, the arms up. Knees into the chest, empty everything out. Bridge with the arms overhead. Coming back down. 2 more times on your own using your chosen length of breath. But really feel like stretching the inhale. And then as you exhale, stretching, lengthening the exhale, and pausing the air out. After your last one, last bridge, extending the breath all the way out, holding the breath out as long as you can. And knowing that the inhale will come. See if you can settle in the exhale a little bit longer. And inhaling when you're ready. And then pressing the feet into the ground, inhale, lifting the hips up, interlacing the fingers underneath the sacrum. It feels good. If not, bringing the hands next to the hips. Doing a few inhales and exhales here, same idea. And as we exhale, lifting the pelvic floor, pulling that energy in towards the torso, into the organs, into the lungs. And exhale. When you're ready, slowly bringing the hips down. Go ahead and reach the legs out once again, bringing the legs in line with the hips, and the arms are into a cactus position. So on your inhale, you're going to reach up with the left hand, reach out the left heel, stretching that left side body, inhale. And then exhale, bringing that left arm back to a cactus, releasing the left foot. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, reaching, pointing, extending out the right heel, reaching out the right fingers. Exhale, right elbow comes down, release the right foot. 3 more times on each side, reaching up. Exhale. Paying attention, being mindful of the breath, letting the breath lead you, letting the breath be the guide into the body and out of the mind. And after your last one, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet down, knees towards the sky, crossing the right leg over the left knee. So we're going to come into a twist here. But before we twist, so your arms can come out to a T or cactus, your choice. Before we do our twist to the left, we're going to pulse the knees to the right. So we'll inhale at center. Exhale out to the right. Couple more times. Mobility, movement in the hips. Inhale to center. And this time, exhale, knees come over to the left. If the knees cross over like this is way too much on the low back and the hips, you can always just stack the knees. And another option is bringing a pillow or a block underneath the knees, letting them rest. So you want to feel like you feel the stretch in the opening, but it doesn't feel like it's straining your low back to where you can't really rest into this posture. We're going to spend a few minutes in this twist. And like we did earlier, just focusing on lengthening the exhale and holding the breath out. If the mind begins to wander, don't try to force it to stop. Notice it. Notice what's coming up, and then taking a deep breath, like the waves washing something out to sea. Waves come up through the mind, and the exhale, releasing it with the breath out. Doing your best to relax that right shoulder onto the ground. If you want, your left hand can come on the right knee. You can take your gaze towards the ceiling or looking over the right shoulder, or maybe even to the left. So seeing which way that your gaze wants to go. With each exhale and pause of the exhale, feeling the body relaxing and softening, surrendering that tension, that resistance. And as we stay here a little bit longer, also noticing what happens in the mind and the body. And once again, seeing if you can become the observer of how you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what's happening. You start to feel tension rise, breathing into that space in the body where you may be feeling it. And one more full breath in and out here. And then slowly inhaling up back to center. Bringing that right foot back down. And then extending the left leg out to the left. And we're going to do some rotations with this right hip. We're going to extend the right foot out. Then bend the knee out to the right. Bring it back to the center. And do that again. So on your own, straighten that right foot. Extend out the heel. Then bend the knee. Open it out. Back to center. Just doing that a few times in this direction. Then reversing the direction. Straighten the leg down, then bringing it back through center. Open the hip to the right. Extend it down towards the left foot. See if you can Relax as best as possible while doing this. Letting the hips be heavy. And then bringing that right knee into the chest. So staying here if this feels good. We really want to feel the weight of the body dropping into the ground. Going further, bringing that right hand on the inside of the shin. And then even further, the right hand on the outside of that right foot. This may feel too much for you today, and just really checking in with yourself. Right? Sometimes we don't notice that our body is telling us to slow down as we just push through. So what happens if you hang out right here for a little bit? And really, the focus is on the breath. Postures are just helping us get into these areas where we feel stuck. So find your half happy baby here. And once again, connecting back to the breath. Lengthening the exhale, holding after the exhale. You're in a full happy baby. Pulling that right knee towards the ground. Flexing the right toes like you're stamping your foot on the ceiling. And then relaxing that left arm out. Letting the shoulders be heavy towards the earth. The hips heavy. The breath full, expansive. Like water massaging the insides of your body. And on the exhale, just focusing on emptying, emptying, emptying. And holding after the exhale. All we're focusing on is breath and sensation. You might notice seeing a deeper opening happening here the longer we hold. And one more full breath. And releasing. The right foot, straightening it towards the sky, rolling that right ankle one direction and the next, the other way. And then slowly reaching out of that right heel, reach, reach, reach towards that left foot. And then taking a moment here, resting, just laying both legs down, let them fold out. And once again, just begin to notice the difference in the body, what you're noticing in the body, what you feel, the difference in the sides. Good. And then walk the soles and the feet back on the ground. Take a moment, put the hands on the ASISs, these two pelvis hip points, hip points right here. And then from this position, just crossing the left leg over. So if you used a pillow on the other side, go ahead and bring it to the right side, maybe even a block. A block can be really helpful too. Let's do a few pulses of the knees to the left. So we'll inhale and center, exhale, pulse knees to the left. Same, a few more times, inhaling to center, exhale, pulsing to the left. Staying with your body, the breath, the movements. Just begin to notice also if your mind wants to wander in fantasy even. Maybe not even the thoughts and stories necessarily of your life, but daydreaming, visualizing, and bringing that awareness back to the body. Coming back to center, inhaling here, and then we're going to exhale here, bringing the knees over to the right this time. Left knee is on top, and once again, if you need to stack and do something different, the twist, check in with your body and modify as needed. But once we've come into this twist, making sure both of the shoulder blades are flushed against the back on the ground, and reaching that left arm out. Nice full breath, breathing in through all parts of the body, the feet, the hips, shoulders, jaw. And then exhale and emptying all the breath out, maybe even lifting the pelvic floor, belly button to spine. Relaxing the belly when you exhale, really expand the belly out. And reconnecting with yourself and your pace. Stretching your ability to breathe deeper a little bit, but not to a degree where you maybe feel more anxiety or bring in more tension. Just come right to that edge of resistance and rest there, soften there, and release. Full inhale, long exhale, all the air out of the lungs holding at the end of the exhale. Notice what arises naturally from that emptiness. One more breath here. Slowly bringing the knees back up to center, readjusting the hips, bringing them back to center. And then uncrossing the knees, straightening that right leg out. And we're going to bring some organic or some movement into this right leg. Left leg. Reach that left leg out next to the right. Bend the knee open to the left. Sweep it back around to the center and then repeat. Straight, reach out of that hip. A few more times, letting the body, the torso be heavy. Just focusing on mobilizing the hip. Taking your time. Maybe you notice some restrictions, some pulling, some popping. And then switching directions. Knee comes out to the left, straightening it. One more round. And left knee comes into the chest, rolling that left ankle. And reaching out of that right heel, left knee into the chest. Maybe you stay here, maybe that left hand comes on the inside of that left shin. Maybe on the outside of the left foot into half happy baby. Again, it's more about the breath, the cultivation of awareness, less about what the posture looks like, postures that we do. These postures will help us get deeper into a place of awareness and connection, but really focus on the breath. Yoga gives us this ability to begin to track ourselves and witness how even in the times of stillness, we are filling ourselves up with thoughts. And in this practice, we can gently work with the breath to invite the thoughts to become still. Resting for a couple seconds at each exhale in still space and emptiness. And in that emptiness, just listen. One more inhale and exhale here. When you're ready, bringing that left knee in, reaching the left leg towards the sky. Reaching out of that left heel, and slowly bringing that left foot down next to the right. From here, we're just going to shake out the legs. Swaying the feet right to left, getting the pulse of vibration moving up into the hips, whole body. And reaching overhead, up, out of the shoulders. Get a nice full body stretch. Inhale and exhale. Empty, 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 empty. Hold still at the end. And then bringing the knees into the chest. Begin to rock gently along the spine. Hands are grabbing the hamstrings. Gentle rock back and forth. See if you can stay in that softness and stillness of the mind as we begin to move a little more. And then crossing out the ankles, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, hips over the knees. We're going to begin to move the spine a little bit more, so we'll extend the tailbone up, drop the belly, the heart, inhale, look up. Tuck the chin, round, exhale, seat to heels. Child's pose. So we're going to do this a few times. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, empty, empty. Pausing at the end of the exhale. And then inviting the inhale back up as we look up into our cow. And just keep going at your own pace. Inhale, open the heart, pull the heart through, smile the collarbones up. Tuck the chin, pressing around. Exhale, seat to heels. Maybe counting to help you stay focused. Maybe inhaling for a count of 4, 5, 6, exhaling the same, or lengthening the exhale even longer than the inhale. Feeling that internal rhythm and guide moving you as you breathe. And then your next exhale, stay in your modified child's pose. Reaching the arms forward. If you want to bring your knees out a little bit wider, you can, or keep the knees underneath the body. And resting the top of the head on the ground. Armpits, underneath the armpits feels open, reaching the fingers forward, hips heavy towards the heels. On your next inhale, press into the hands. Inhale, look up into your cow. Readjust the knees if you need to. Flexing the toes, hovering the knees off the ground. Inhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Drawing the triceps in towards each other, strengthening, engaging the triceps, the biceps, melting the heart towards the knees, and keeping a good bend in the knees here as you reach the heels down. Your hips
are going to want to rotate up and back. So like you're sticking your booty out, tailbone towards the sky, spreading the hips wide. Same thing with the inhale and exhale here. Exhaling all the air out, holding the breath out, and really do your best to try and lift the pelvic floor and bring the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Coming into dragon pose for a moment. Hands on the inside of that right knee. You can bring a block underneath your hands or your forearms if you'd like. Pressing that right knee in towards the tricep. And just hanging out here for a few breaths. Different posture now as we exhale, feeling what happens when you lift the pelvic floor on the exhale. So feeling that lifting and the buoyancy in the hips. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Hold at the end of the exhale. And when you're ready, we're going to remove the block. Walk that right foot in between the hands, sweeping the arms up to the sky. Inhale, low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come next to that right foot. Bring that left knee off the mat, plant the hands. Sweeping the right foot back to the left, downward facing dog. Full inhale and exhale here in your down dog, really reaching those hips up and back. If you can, maybe even straightening the legs a little bit more, extending the heels towards the ground, but keeping a micro bend in the knees still. Look between the hands. Step the left foot on the outside of the left hand, bringing that right knee down. Same as the other side, hands either on your fingertips, coming to the elbows, maybe even a block. Key on this low lunge is pressing that left knee in towards the left tricep. Looking down at the ground, reconnecting with the breath. With each inhale and exhale, feeling more and more spaciousness in the body, ease of the mind. And walk that left foot into the center of the mat and just sweep the arms up towards the sky, sinking the hips, softening the shoulders down towards the hips. And then framing that left foot, bringing that right knee off the ground, and then bringing the right knee to the left, coming into a forward fold. Relaxing the chin towards the neck, towards the body. Tucking the chin in just slightly. Relaxing the hands towards the ground. Keeping a slight bend or a strong bend in the knee. Shaking out your head and your neck, relaxing the tension in the jaw, the head. And then inhaling, hands come up onto blocks or on the shins of the ground, pulling the heart through, pressing into the shins of your hands or the shins. And exhale, emptying all the breath out. Pause at the end. A few more times. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, empty. One more. Broaden the collarbones. Exhale. This time, inhale, reaching the arms out into a T, press into the ground, reaching the arms towards the sky. Up and back. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Hands come out to a T, tuck the chin and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Doing that again. Inhale, arms come out to a T. Press into the feet, reach all the way up. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up and back even more. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Tuck the chin in. Exhale, roll down one spine, one vertebrae at a time. One more time, inhale. Halfway, exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, reach the arms out, reach up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Inhale, reaching up and out. Tuck the chin first, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Exhale all the way down. Empty, empty, empty the air out. Holding at the end of the exhale, relaxing the neck. And then inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back to the back of the mat, coming into plank. Inhaling at plank, pressing the earth away. Stay here as you exhale all the air out. Belly button to spine, pelvic floor lifts. One more round of that, inhaling. Pressing the earth away. Exhale, pulling in all of the, exhaling all the air out, pulling the belly button to the spine, pelvic floor. Your next inhale, pull the heart through, inhale. Exhale, tap the knees down, then the elbows come all the way down to the ground. Hands next to the ribs, press into the toes and the hips as you inhale, lift up, cobra. Stay here as you exhale. One more time, inhale. And relax down, exhale. Again, press and lift, inhale, cobra. Zipping those elbows in, shoulder blades down, heart lifts. And then exhale, lift through tabletop. Flexing the toes, exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing deep in here. Inhaling, sweeping the right leg into the sky. Exhale, bring that right foot forward. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up into crescent. Exhale, lifting the pelvic floor, belly button to spine, emptying all the air out. Inhaling to reach, extend out that left heel. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, sweep the right foot up into the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, placing the right foot down. Other side, inhale, left foot's up. Exhale, left foot comes between the hands. Inhaling, sweeping the arms to the sky. Exhale, empty, empty. Belly button to spine, lift pelvic floor. Inhaling to reach out that right heel, reach the arms up. Exhaling, framing that left foot. Inhale, sweep the left foot into the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, place the left foot down. Staying here once again for a full inhale and exhale. One more round here. Inhale, sweep that right foot into the sky, bend the knee, open the hip this time. Exhale, sweep that right foot in between the hands. Go ahead and rotate the left heel down, heel to arch alignment. Inhaling, sweeping up into warrior two. And then as you exhale, empty all the air out. Lift the pelvic floor, belly back to spine. Soften the shoulders, close the eyes. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. And then cartwheel the hands down as we exhale. If you want, you can come straight back to downward dog, or you can take a nice, gentle vinyasa. Taking it easy, slow, using the breath to move the body. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Sweeping that left leg into the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. And then exhale, sweeping it through. Rotating the right heel down. Opening the arms to warrior two. Inhale. In our warrior two, we'll inhale, really expand the breath. Same thing here. Exhale, lifting the pelvic floor, belly button to spine, empty all the air out. Good. And then reverse your warrior. Inhale, reach up and back. Reach out of that left hip. And then cartwheel the hands down. Plant the hands. Left foot comes back. Again, your choice, just come back to down dog or take a gentle vinyasa. Back in your downward facing dog. Looking between the hands. Inhaling, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, knees come down. Placing the hips on the ground. I call this lazy up dog. Letting the shoulders come towards the ears. If this is too much of a stretch on your body, come down to the forearms into Sphinx. Letting the hips be heavy, maybe shaking the hips out a little if you need to. And then go ahead, press yourself up, come to kneeling. And we're going to do a stretch on the side body. So if you have a block or some pillows, go ahead and stack those up. I'm going to use pillows under my ribs, and I'm going to use a block underneath my head. So coming up, laying right underneath, not up under the armpit, not right in the low ribs, but right here on the side of the rib cage. Gentle stretch. Maybe you can put your left hand underneath your head if you want. Knees are bent. Or you can place a block underneath your head and reach this right arm up over the head. So eyes closed, so we're slowly making our way down to the ground, coming into more yin postures. Just allowing yourself to rest here. Exploring your internal landscape, your body, your rhythm. See what you notice as you cultivate this deeper breath, this emptying the exhale, feeling what it feels like to just be empty. If you can't quite grasp it, just asking the question to yourself. That void space. I know that for me, when I started to feel this emptiness, it actually scared me. Because I was so used to having a busy mind, a busy life, always wanting to follow my passions, my dreams, accomplish things, or go out into life to experience life. But what would happen if we did the opposite? What if we just rested here and allowed life to move us? Feeling life being experienced in a different way, rather than tasks to do and things to accomplish. If using this breath, the exhale, the emptying feels like a little bit too much for you today, or if you'd like to just explore resting here without it, you can do that as well. Letting the belly be soft here. Connecting with what it feels like to be empty and be still. Moving beyond and above these ideas of worries, who we need to be, what we need to do. And then slowly moving this right arm up. If you want, you can just roll to the other side from your belly and come onto the right side. Or you can set yourself up, turn to the other side, reset your pillows and your block. But we're going to go on the right side now. Just feel into the body and the sensations. There may be things that you're noticing now that you haven't noticed before. On one side, for me, I feel a little heavier, a little more weighted down. On the other side, I feel a little bit more lightness. Like my breath can move better on one side than the other. Or maybe if you're on one side or the other, you get more memories, or you're feeling things shifting in your body. Your mind begins to wander, inviting your presence and your awareness back to the breath. Maybe even saying to yourself, inhale, exhale, whatever tool works best for you. And slowly coming out of this posture. And we are just going to scoot our pillows and props to the side and come onto our backs. Bringing this block underneath the head. You might want it at an angle, but what we're going to try and do is get the edge of the block into the space right beneath the skull. We call it suboccipitals. And rocking the chin right to left. So kind of a massage at the base of the skull. This may not work for your body, maybe it will, but just play around with this if you have a block. Rolling right to left. If not, you can just come into Shavasana and continue to play with that feeling and experience of emptiness. And then if you've got the block underneath your head, just letting your head rest in center. Nice little stretch in the back of the neck. And then when you're ready to remove the block, you can, and come back into Shavasana. Once again, dropping the bones, the body, resting. And exploring your relationship to being empty. Sometimes we think that, or maybe this is just me, that when I feel empty, initially I felt like something was wrong. When the thoughts started to slow down and the emotions started to be a little bit less of a control of my experience. I became very anxious and curious and afraid of being empty. And then I began to shift my relationship with that and become more curious as to why. Maybe feeling and being empty is not what we think it is. But how will we know until we begin to explore that experience? Resting here, exploring that still empty space as we lengthen our exhales all the way out and hold at the exhale. And letting all effort go and resting here in your Shavasana. If you have the ability and you'd like to lay here a little bit longer in your own time, I would definitely invite you and encourage you to continue to rest in the Shavasana and what you're feeling and experiencing. Otherwise, you can slowly begin to deepen the breath. Maybe look right to left with the head. Movement in the fingers and toes and wrists, ankles. And slowly bring the knees into the chest. And make your way back up to Sukhasana. Crossing the opposite leg in front. If you're still in Shavasana, you just stay and rest there as long as you want. Letting my voice just be a sound that is mixed with the other experiences that you're having. If you're coming up to a comfortable seat, staying with that feeling, the dropping, the hyper awareness of the listening, that connection to your true internal rhythm, that connection to all things, but also deeply rooted in this body. You're in your Sukhasana seat, feeling the weight of the pelvis, the weight of the hands on the knees, the lifting of the spine, soft jaw, calm mind. Bringing your hands to your heart, inviting your own intention back into the
the space, infusing it into your cells. As you move about your life, utilizing this practice to help reconnect with the trueness of who you are beneath the stories, the ego, personality. Utilizing this breath to create a new relationship with emptiness and potentially a new relationship with your life. Instead of being driven by our thoughts and our worries and concerns, asking ourselves what else is possible. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today, this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Divine light in me sees and celebrates the divine light in each and every one of you. I see you, I am you. Namaste.